Hello Channel viewers, I'm DS, your psychologist, and welcome to another episode on Channel NITT. So dear fellow ENTJs, have you ever resigned from a job? Yesterday I just did, and this is not the first time I've actually resigned, and I am trying to recount all the different experiences I have, including those times when I initiated a breakup. It is all very similar. So in this episode I'm going to talk about the trends. When an ENTJ wants to end a relationship, be it a romantic relationship or a working relationship, it may be quite different from what other MBTIs would do. So let me give you a background of what actually just happened yesterday. So besides running my own business, I also do adjunct teaching. So I'm not too sure why I need to do adjunct teaching. It does create some substantial amount or proportion of my additional income. I'm not too sure whether I'm really obsessed with money or I just need more, but I have been doing the adjunct teaching for some time with a particular school, and because I'm a part-timer, I understand that sometimes they need to replace me when there are better options, because sometimes full-time staff are cheaper than part-time staff because part-time staff are hourly rated, but comparatively I would already consider my hourly rate to be very low. So I teach 4 mornings and 1 afternoon, and I think that the school has actually found some replacement for afternoon. So for 2 consecutive afternoons that I'm supposed to teach, they have told me one day beforehand that I do not need to come. So yesterday they texted me again and said that they do not need me for the afternoon. I was a bit pissed because I have my own plans, right? I already assigned or allocated the afternoon for you, and then you tell me that I'm not needed. Be it ego or be it sense of injustice, I thought about it. I was in my office. I questioned whether I should continue teaching. I just drew a tarot card. It tells me, go, leave. Now because I trusted the universe so much and the card tells me to go, I decided immediately to reply the WhatsApp text by saying that, okay, let my last day be this. It was supposed to be next month because I was giving some form of a leeway. Then I decided to push it 1 month earlier, which is the end of this month. Sometimes I myself am very impressed by myself how decisive I can be over such a thing. The loss of income could be quite substantial, I would say that, but I just went ahead and do it. I think the boss didn't have an opportunity to talk to me, so I was always corresponding with the receptionist. And I think she's not in a position to answer any questions. But generally, the relationship is over. Now, what really happens is very interesting, because I would suppose that an INTJ or some other types, right, they would think very carefully what are the pros and cons, whether this is feasible, what are the consequences of doing this and that, before they eventually come to a decision whether to go or not to go. Many people are likely to endure. So as I tell my friends around, there are some types that are very supportive, especially those that are into tarot or those that are into metaphysics. But those who are not, they would say that my decision is a bit rash because they just tell me not to come on Tuesdays, which is the Tuesday afternoons. But seemingly my decision is really out of proportion with the entire event. And yes, out of proportion is really the correct phrase to use, because a lot of the times, right, my reaction to certain things are really out of proportion. If you ask me to cancel something, I will say that, okay, we will not be meeting anymore forever. I have told my friends that before. Those who cancel on me, say we will never meet again. You don't have to, I will delete your number, I'll block you now. This is seemingly sometimes a very disproportionate or like a ridiculous kind of a reaction. I think the ENTJ sometimes reacts to this because of the sense of injustice. Who do you think you are treating me like that? I think that is a very correct way of the way I'm thinking in order to combat a kind of a treatment that I'm given. If you want to just cancel me like that, or if you want to just replace me like that, then I'll say that no, I do not want to accept this. It's in line with my concept or my personal understanding of the law of attraction. You know, and analogously, if you have a girl, she keeps getting men who tramples her around, who bullies her around, or treats her like a pushover, and she keeps accepting that, she's giving the message to the universe that she is okay with it and wants more of it. So yes, it's justifiable from my point of view that I don't want to be treated this way. So therefore I send a very clear signal to say no. There are always two sides of the coin. Some people will say that this is impulsive and unthinking. Other people will say that this is brave. What do you think? I think ENTJs are likely to say okay with it. In my personal experience, I have also resigned out of impulse before, and breakups have also happened out of impulse. Of course, this impulse is not like a spark out of nowhere. Something along the way must have happened that causes some form of a negativity. So in my case, I have got some form of a displeasure already, but I was willing to accept that. So in this current situation, there were already some displeasures that I have, but it's not serious enough to make me want to resign. So the incident of asking me not to come on that afternoon is a total catalyst. It just pushed me totally to the other side immediately. Interestingly, after that, as an ENTJ, I started to rationalize what are some of the reasons why my decision should be supported. So I had wavered a bit. I said, am I being too rash? Or am I really able to sacrifice this bit of income? I did some reflection and realized that actually this bit of income doesn't do me more good. Maybe I'm just obsessed with getting more money, or I'm just obsessed with working. Because of this teaching in the mornings, I wake up at about 6 and I end work about 10 p.m. So I literally work the entire day. If I had actually sacrificed this, I would have more time to create memories for myself, to focus on my own business. I think why not? So I give a lot of rationalization such as this one. And this might seem a bit peculiar because this kind of attitude is more in line with the ESFP. But the ESFP and the ENTJ can sometimes be very alike. So ENTJs, have you ever gotten yourself into this kind of a major decisions which you have made a very swift decision to terminate a particular relationship? I would say that at this point in time, no regrets still. ENTJs, you need to understand that if you don't do something like this, then you can always do something else. You will never die. Just like me, I can create so much value out of nowhere. I am very sure that this setback is going to be something that I won't even harp on next year. And least to say, when I die on my deathbed, I won't even think of this incident like, oh, I shouldn't have resigned. Definitely no. So to think long term is an ENTJ trait. To think far into the future is an ENTJ trait. So I'm thinking very far into the future. I think that this is a decision that is correct. At least I think that this is my way of creating justice. Justice for myself. Viewers, I have a question. Would you have done the same if you were me? You wouldn't know the exact details, but you can imagine the context, right? Do feel free to comment in the comment section. Okay, at Channel NITT we produce a lot of ENTJ, INTJ videos such as this one. If you have enjoyed this one, do give us a like. If you have not already subscribed, do consider subscribing so that we can bring you more ENTJ, INTJ and fun stuff. Okay, I'm going to sign off now and I'll see you in our next episode. Bye bye!